and emergency transport control has been initiated. Dear friends from and viewers from CCTV, and we're now currently at the Qiongzhou Strait, and you are listening to the introduction of the emergency drill at the Qiongzhou Strait. And currently, we are at an observing boat, and we are now to observe an emergency rescue drill that is going on at the Qiongzhou Strait. The emergency department of Hainan province is right now going on, and this is a situation that simulates the collision between a roll-on roll-off passenger ship with a oil tanker. So this is a simulation of a collision under the foggy weather condition at the Qiongzhou Strait. So in this simulated situation, this carrier ship with hazardous chemical is exploded after the collision. So a rescue team and rescue force was sent to the site. And currently, you are listening to the introduction of this simulation. And currently, this video clip is showing you this rescue mission. So under foggy weather condition that lasts for many days, the relevant departments and rescue forces are pulling all endeavors to ensure the supply for and the forces for this rescue mission. So this is the simulation for the collision. This is the instruction for the background information. So this person is here to report the location of the collision, and also to brief the team of the general introduction of the collision. So the captain of one of the ships is reporting, is making a brief on the situation, stating that there is hazardous chemicals on one of the carrier's boat. So according to the introductory clip, under a foggy weather condition, two ships, one named Haitai, with altogether 70 people, among which 40 are passengers and 30 are staff. And another ship is a carrier ship with oil tankers on board. So on the screen, this is right now demonstrating this self-rescue mission immediately after this collision. So the rescue center is giving orders to carry out self-rescue at first, to evacuate the passengers first. And then the rescue center is coordinating relevant department to carry on follow-up rescue efforts. So the rescue center is giving long-distance instructions on medical rescue at the site. So the first priority is to transport the injured person to the port in order to continue with the rescue settlement. And next would be a tabletop simulation of the rescue effort. So the spokesperson is holding a press conference. So dear viewers, once again, we are right now at an observing boat that is about to witness this drill on emergency rescue mission. And a collision accident happened due to this foggy weather condition. It is a collision between a passenger ship and an oil tankers. So right now on the screen is some pre-recorded video on this background information of the collision. This is the spokesperson for the Hainan Maritime Bureau. This is the spokesperson for the Nanhai Rescue Bureau, which is under the supervision of Ministry of Transportation. Next would be the spokesperson for the Emergency Management Department for Hainan Province. He's saying that he's coordinating with relevant department and stand ready to provide support. Rescue powers from the relevant bureaus, departments, and rescue teams and social forces are coordinated. This is the spokesperson from the Public Health Committee of Hainan Province, saying that they are building this this makeshift rescue center at the port, which stands ready for follow-up rescue efforts. spokesperson from Hainan Environment Protection Bureau. This is the Meteorology Bureau from Hainan Province, who will be continuing their forecast of the Qiongzhou Strait, where the accident takes place. So the provincial rescue team for this fire brigade is also sending out special squad to stand by for rescue. This is Nanhai Natural Resources Bureau. Which will be reporting on the situation on this on the public sea, on the South China Sea. This is the Maritime Guarantee Center of South China Sea. This is Maritime Management Bureau of the Pearl River. Who will be in charge of the management, the transport management. So the Shipping Association and its Hainan division will be reporting to the commanding center on the situation, for example, the load and the other parameters of the boats. This is the People's Government of Chengmai County. So an emergency response of first level has been initiated because this collision involves hazardous chemicals which may give rise to fire risks and explosive risks. So we have teams stand ready that involves medical force, telecom, and aftermath handling. So all of the teams must be working closely together and coordinate with each other. So anything else to add from the relevant departments? I also agree with the advice of Mr. Wu Hui on the division of labor. So relevant department must be fulfilling their own responsibilities according to our general deployment. Detailed rescue plan must be made. And we need to consult to the experts when necessary in order to make scientific decision and rescue plans. And currently the rescue work must be initiated right away. So this is the inspection ship reporting that it has already arrived at the collision site. We are now at the site of the simulated drill. And we are here to observe this emergency rescue drill. And two ships collided due to foggy weather condition. And one of them carries hazardous chemicals which may constitute risks of fire and explosion. So after this accident, relevant departments are working together and coordinate closely in order to carry out rescue mission. So we heard reports from the emergency management department, medical expert, and also this chemical expert, as well as environmental protection departments. Now, at the site, we can see that the helicopter has been approaching to help with the rescue. After arrival of the helicopter, it does a tour from the area shot. So after this rounds, it will give a more detailed and clearer instructions based on the actual situation of the collision. And it can also help to transport those heavily injured persons that are already in coma. So on top of the passenger ship, the helicopter is hovering, ready to land. This is mainly to transport the injured passengers on the ship. At the same time, a mobile hospital and emergency medical center has already been established at the port. This is very similar to a wartime hospital at the battlefield. This is a makeshift hospital to handle emergency medical situations. Right now we can see that the helicopter is hovering on top of the ship, and it's now ready to rescue this injured personnel from the boat. Today, despite this windy situation offshore, the helicopter is flying in a very stable manner on air. Right now, we can see that the rescue team members is descending via this rope onto the boat. What you're hearing is the commentator at the site. The rescuer has successfully landed on the deck of the ship. So on this ship, there is an injured person which is already in coma, and this rescuer is doing some first aid medical treatment to this person. At the same time, this helicopter is hovering above the ship. You might not be able to see very clearly due to this distance. There's actually a live streaming on the boat with a clearer view of the rescue situation. So from this live stream on the boat, we can see clearer this situation. And right now, the rescuer has been fastening this injured person on the stretcher and help to transport this person onto this helicopter. We can see that this helicopter is flying in a very stable manner. Now this injured person has been successfully transported into this medical helicopter. And this helicopter will be transporting this injured person to this makeshift medical center at the port. In this temporary medical center, emergency medical treatment will be performed on this injured person. So, on this port, the medical workers are standing ready and wait for this injured personnel to arrive. So, a makeshift hospital at the port is similar to one that takes place in a wartime and in battlefields that is used to treat the wounded soldiers. And currently, on this ship, this emergency evacuation facility is released. Right now, the crew on board is organizing emergency evacuation of the passengers. This is a emergency evacuation system. This kind of evacuation system consists of two passages which will allow very speedy transportation of the passengers on board from the highest deck to lifeboats. So once again, I have to report to you that right now we are at the site of this emergency rescue drill at the Qiongzhou Strait, which simulates the collision between a passenger ship with one that carries hazardous chemicals. Right now we can see that this person is sending out signals for rescue. So this person, after this collision, is supposedly fallen into the waters. So we have sent out this rescue boat to save this person. Right now, what you are observing is someone sending signals. With a signal detonator, and signifying that someone is in trouble, someone has been falling into the water. And right now, this China Coastal Guard is trying to save this person from the waters. And first of all, a swimming this floating rescue mission has been sent into the water. And with the help of the rescue team, this person, which has been sent a swimming ring, is now being successfully rescued. And on this side, there is another person that has fallen into into water. Now, according to the commentator, all the three passengers that have fallen into the water have been rescued and are under safe condition. and they have been sent to the makeshift medical center at the port. Currently, you can see that this is rescue boat number 201 from the Nanhai Rescue Bureau. And at the far side in this picture, we can see that this rescue system is trying to transport this trapped passengers and crew onto this lifeboat first, and then they will be transported to the rescue boat. So this is a slope for the passengers to slide. They can slide into this lifeboat with this rescue system. So the Nanhai Rescue Bureau is directly under the supervision of the Ministry of Transportation. This is a state-level professional rescue force concentrating on life-saving, especially offshore. And they performed mission on onshore rescue missions and also disaster reliefs of all kinds. And its professionality has been applauded widely. Right now, 40 passengers and 24 crew members have already been transported onto the lifeboat and then continue to be transported on this rescue boat. We have discovered that one of the passengers is experiencing low temperature situation, so emergency medical treatment has to be performed immediately on site. Currently, this rescuers on the boat is trying to register the information of the trapped people. So this special physical condition of one of the passengers has been reported to the commanding center of the rescue mission. And this person is quarantined due to this special COVID-19 containment measures. So this is a special situation that is added at this particular period of time. Currently, the crew, one of the crew on this passenger boat is reporting that a new explosion has just occurred on the ship. and asking for immediate relief. This explosion After this explosion, and rescue force will arrive at the site in no time.
发生了爆炸起火，起火的位置在船舶的尾部，火势很大。船上的人员向指挥中心请求了支援，并且汇报了说船上留守的5名船员正在释放救生艇，准备撤离。他们的请求支援得到了搜救中心的回馈，搜救中心表示。
And this demand has been answered, and their call has been answered by the commanding center. A drone has been sent from the wharf and has located on this ship. So heavy smoke can be observed from a distance, signifying a very severe explosion. And you can also see that on this water there seems to be oil leak. So heavy smoke with very dark color and floating oil at the nearby sea and waters may signify possible oil leak. We can see that this is an automated boat which can approach the site immediately to carry on mission. And its mission mainly include the transport of emergency facilities. There are still 5 crew members on board, so now they have been successfully transported to safe locations with lifeboats. So the Environmental Bureau is right now carrying out surveillance and monitoring of the atmospheric and maritime situation at the site. Currently, you're observing an emergency rescue drill that takes place in the Qiongzhou Strait. A passenger ship is collided with another ship. So, with hazardous chemicals on board, explosion also takes place, and with possible oil leaks. So it is important to carry out multi-tasks with this rescue mission. So the rescue forces must make sure that the trapped personnel on board is safe, and also to control this environmental impact at the collision site. Now the rescue team is trying to spray water with high pressure taps and hoses so as to make sure that no secondary fire situation or explosion will happen after this. So this is a rescue mission that is coordinated between 3 emergency management departments of Guangdong, Guangxi Autonomous Region, as well as Hainan Province. So this is a video conference between the emergency departments of the 3 provinces. Currently, the spokesperson from Hainan Province is reporting to his counterparts in Guangdong and Guangxi Autonomous Region. Right now, the spokesperson of Hainan Province is asking for assistance in terms of the supplies for rescue missions. And the supply include fire extinguisher and so on. So, some general introduction of Qiongzhou Strait. Qiongzhou is a very important water channel that connects the Hainan Island with the mainland with Chinese mainland. So, it's the lifeline that connects the Hainan province with the continent. So this is also known as the Golden Channel that connects the island. As I mentioned, this is a video conference between the emergency management departments of the 3 locations, 3 provinces. The emergency management departments of Hainan province is asking for assistance from the 2 other provinces. And now let's turn our camera once again to the site. These rescue boats are trying to conduct this fire extinguishment work. In a case of an explosion offshore on the boat, this temperature inside the cabin will rise very sharply, which may cause dangers to the people still on board. So it is imperative for us to extinguish the fire at the first, as soon as possible, because on this boat there is a very large reserve of oil. Therefore, with the sharp rise of the temperature, it is highly likely that follow-up explosion will take place if no emergency measures are taken. So on board, there is hazardous chemicals. If mixed with air, there might be risks of major explosion. So the spray with the high pressure hose is mainly to lower the temperature so as to avoid this sharp rise of temperature at the site and guarantee that the personnel on board can be evacuated. In order to extinguish the fire, this fire extinguisher made of solid carbon dioxide is used. This kind of powder fire extinguisher is very effective. So this boat is equipped with both high-pressure water hose as well as fire extinguisher.
我继续来再跟大家介绍一下现场的情况。现在是在琼州海峡的海上，我们现在所处的位置是一艘观摩船上，在这里观摩一场琼州海峡两艘船舶因为在大雾天气里能见度降低之后相撞，之后产生的。
So dear viewers, once again, please allow me to brief you on the content of today's live stream. We are reporting at the site of an emergency rescue drill that takes place in the Nanhai, as well as the Qiongzhou Strait. And this is a simulation of the rescue mission in times of a collision between boats. And the situation has been complexed by this special scenario that on the boat there are passengers as well as oil tanks and hazardous chemicals. So this high-pressure water hose with fire extinguisher has been applied.
从现场的解说了解到，对面起火的船舶已经得到了控制。
So with this act, the situation is kept under control. The fire has been extinguished, and drones are also sent to the site to keep a close eye on the situation of the site in real-time fashion. So visible fire has already been put out, but the rescue effort has not stopped.
并且我们从现场的画面能够看到，起火的船舶上的烟已经停止了。
We can also observe clearly that the smoke on the boat has been diminished.
我们今天从现场画面来看，参与救援的2艘船舶打出来的水雾已经逐渐在减小。
We can see that the water mist that is sprayed by these two rescue teams has diminished and gradually stopped, which means the successful accomplishment of the fire extinguishment mission. On the air, we can see that the drone is flying towards the site to carry out inspection of the site as well as the nearby waters. We can see that another helicopter is arriving at the scene with 5 professionals on the treatment of hazardous chemicals. They will be boarding this ship in order to handle the special situation with hazardous chemicals. So on this helicopter, there are 5 experts. From this hazardous treatment base of national level in Hainan province. So once again, this rescue helicopter is now hovering above the boat. This 5 personnel will be descending from the helicopter onto the boat. We can also hear the rumbling of the engines of the helicopter, as well as the sound of the chopper. Now the first person is descending, has been descended. So another personnel with red working suit has descended onto the boat. Another rescuer is about to descend through this rescue rope.
这也是一名身穿红色衣服的救援人员。这名救援人员缓缓地从直升机上通过绳索的方式降落到了甲板上。甲板上之前到达的人员在接应了他。一名穿白色衣服的工作人员自己绑好绳索。
So the first professional is now giving signals to the people on board the helicopter.
在画面里面，我隐隐约约能够看到，在直升机的远处，又有一架飞机在盘旋。
Just now we saw another plane that is flying at the far side in the picture. Currently, we can see from this live stream on the ship this situation inside the ship. So this is what's going on inside the cabin, and these pictures are taken through inspection robots. So with this inspection of the robots, it can be determined that all this visible fire has been put out on the ship, and all the leakages have been blocked by the professionals. According to the report of the inspection robots, there is no and little risk for fire and explosion at the board. The hazardous chemicals have been wiped out, and there's a small amount of water inside the cabin. There are some remains of oils on the boat, so the rescue team members are trying to absorb the oil with special absorbent.
在现场，我们又看到飞机在事发海域的现场经过。这架飞机赶到这里的任务是对事发海域进行海面由空中监视。从现场的解说，我们了解到事发海域已经有一条长约。
The commentator is saying that this oil leakage has been discovered, which means that this is an oil leakage belt, which is about 250 meters long and moving southwest slowly, and the relevant department is now handling the situation. There are 2 towboats that is trying to construct this offshore barricades in order to block the leakage. So first, we need to keep the area of oil leak under control by using this offshore blockage. And then special absorbent of oil will be discharged in order to absorb the leakage.
省搜救中心海事211报告，目前危化品泄漏已经得到有效控制，海上油污已经基本清除。搜救中心收到，请你们继续在现场监护。有南海15113轮拖大海泰轮到指定码头，有国家危险化学品进口地点2处基地开展洗消作业。
从现场的解说，我们了解到，刚才模拟事发的海域的泄漏的油污已经基本清除。那么下一步，这些油污将由国家危险化学品应急救援基地杨浦基地开展洗消。在空中进行监视，经核实，本次险情全部遇险人员均已转移上岸。目前火情得到有效控制，检测空气质量、水体质量已经科学检查。
So the commentator is reporting that all the personnel has been successfully rescued from the ship. All of the personnel has now been transported on land, and after this monitoring of air quality and water quality, all the hazardous chemicals have been absorbed, and the air quality and water quality is up to standard right now. So let me report to you. From this observing ship, we have just observed an on-site emergency rescue drill that simulates a collision between a roll-on, roll-off passenger ship and another ship, which also give rise to oil leakage, oil leakage on water, as well as explosion on the boat. So after this rescue mission, all the passengers and crew have been successfully rescued from the boat, and this oil leakage pollution have been handled, and the air quality and water quality after this after rescue mission has returned back to normal. So, dear viewers, our live stream today is about a rescue drill on a collision of two ships, one of them with passengers on board as well as hazardous chemicals. So the mission of the rescue drill is to safely transport all the trapped passengers and crew. And after this emergency evacuation, the rescue workers also need to take care of the oil leakage on the ship. So after this rescue mission, it is a very successful effort because all the personnel are completely rescued, and the environmental risks has also been wiped out. So that's all for today's live stream.